Well, I dragged Mark Collins down from the steeple. We are now in his office, and it's time for an interview with Mark.
That's what you've all been waiting for.
Mark, so glad to have you today.
Glad to be here in my office.
In your office. Mark, let's let everybody get to know you a little bit better. What's your name?
Mark.
What's your middle name?
Templeton Collins.
Do you wish you had been called Templeton growing up instead of Mark?
No, but I do like... I used to always use it as a game in elementary school and in middle school, and even now. Guess my middle name. Nobody can ever guess it.
And that name is because that's your family name?
Yeah, my mom's maiden name, Templeton. So Templeton, Janet, Jean, Templeton, Foy Templeton. It's Foy's birthday today.
Oh, well, how old would he have been?
90, I guess.
Janet will chime in later.
Yeah, she will.
In the comments.
She will.
Oh. Did you have a nickname growing up?
No. I kind of always wanted one, but I never...
I was that way too. All my friends, I had a Brick and a Scooter and a Pee-wee. No, I never had a nickname.
No.
I always wanted one.
Just Mark.
I had a name my mom always called me, but it's kind of embarrassing. So I know you got a family, your family, a lot of families here. How many people do you think you're related to at Western Avenue?
I'm not even sure.
It's a bunch.
There's a lot. And it came from the Brewers was my grandmother Jean's family were here.
She was a brewer?
She was a brewer. Jean Brewer. Bill and Sandy Brewer are still here. Margaret Beard was a brewer who just passed away last February. She's married to Harry, who was our neighbors. And they had a sister, Hilda, and they have another sister, Rosemary, who is in Atlanta, who worked for CDC for a long time. So she's been keeping us up to date on the coronavirus. And then they had another brother, Roy, who passed away before too.
And you're related to your pastor in some way, aren't you?
Yeah, we figured out. So my name is Templeton. You said your mom was a Templeton. So I don't even know how long it took us to figure that out.
You did.
One day, I don't know how long we knew it before I started looking. I remember that my grandmother had a book, a genealogy book. There's a lot of Templetons in Union Grove. And so I got it, and we found the names of
my grandpa,
lineage, your grandpa Leroy, and my grandpa Foy, which is they like those. It's funny. And then traced it back to James Templeton, who's actually buried in North Iredell, Union Grove.
Yeah, you've
area.
been to the gravesite, haven't you?
Yeah, Waterfall Road, I think.
So our great-grandfather's great-grandfather was the same man. The great-grandfather of our great-grandfather was the same guy, James.
He's a great man. He's just a great man.
So that was back in, 1860s?
Yeah, I think the first Templeton to probably settle here. In our
Civil War time. So Mark and I are fifth cousins, 10
cousin?
times removed. I'm not sure.
They ain't just fifth cousins?
Maybe just fifth.
Straight down the line.
It is a straight line all the way down through there. So you were born here in Iredell County?
That's what they tell me.
When?
1982. July 6th.
1982. So that makes you how old?
37.
Getting ready to turn 38. What hospital were you born in?
Iredell Memorial.
All right.
As far as I can remember.
Did you go home to the house your mom and dad live in now?
Yes.
So
15 and I shouldn't say it. I won't put their address on there.
Because the worldwide audience.
Because everybody will come and find them. I don't know.
And you had two other brothers?
Two brothers.
What's the age differences there?
Parks is 2 years older than I am, and Andrew is 5 years younger than I am. So I'm the middle child.
Okay.
That just explains it all, I guess.
How were the rooms divided up?
For the Parks and I shared a room until he got a room by himself, and then Andrew and I shared a room until I moved off to college.
All right.
So I never had a room by myself until I moved home from college, and Parks moved out of my grandparents' house, and then I had a whole house to myself. And then I got married.
Did you have separate beds, the same bed, bunk bed?
No, Andrew and I had bunk beds that I'm pretty sure my grandpa built. He still has them now, and I think his twins are using them, or maybe one of his sons. But those I had those bunk beds, so I slept on a bunk bed.
What'd that room look like?
I don't remember.
You showed me one time you had starting.
Oh
lineups.
yeah, we had starting lineups. So I have a crazy affection, I guess, as a kid of starting lineups, which I thought at one time. I don't have any in here. Oh, there's a couple in here. I thought at one time maybe would. Oh yeah, here's little Mike Mussina, right here. Pitch for the Orioles. But these little
and the Yankees.
Yes, but this looks better. They were little guys. He can just stare here the rest of the time. These little guys. They came in packages. They sold all kinds of them, and we would go to the card stores or card shows at like Signal Hill Mall or different places, and try to find the ones with guys we like. So I would always look for like the Raiders or Orioles or people like Lou Gehrig or some that were just kind of interesting, and like Michael Jordan in a warm-up suit, those are kind of ones I can remember. But then we lined our whole wall. Me and Andrew and Park. I mean, they were all of them. I still have them all, and they're still all in a box. I thought they would be worth something when they're probably worth like $2.50 the whole collection.
I saw your wall. You had them in the box, in the
box on the wall with push pins
hanging all. I mean, the whole wall was covered with the starting lineups.
Yeah, sorry. Probably my mom and dad had to cover back over those when they painted the room.
You've since graduated to slightly more.
A little bit more sophisticated.
Called McFarland's. Who's this guy?
Manny Machado.
Who also is no longer an Oriole.
We don't talk about him anymore.
So those are much higher quality.
Now that you pointed out, I'm just a collector of little things.
We'll see that in just a moment, just in case anybody doubts it. How did you become a fan of a team like the Orioles?
So when I was a kid, we always went, so my aunt that lives in Atlanta, we would go down and visit Rosemary. Hey, Rosemary. We would go down and visit and go to Braves games, which I love the Braves too. But for some reason, I think I have a little bit of a contrarian spirit in me, and I guess since that age, I've realized I've loved just like little cartoons. And so the Orioles, similar to this, not quite, this is the one they have now, but they had this little funny bird. And so they had a hat, white front, black back, orange bill, Orioles hat. And so I had one of those. I can remember my T-ball teams when I was a kid were always Orioles. And I love Cal Ripken Jr. I think...
So you were,
since I was a kid,
you went to these card stores. Did you also collect cards?
Lots of cards, lots of Saturday mornings at Lamberth's Card Shop and Carolina Card Connection with my dad and my brothers and uncles and whoever was in town. We just go over and.
Did you ever get that Cal Ripken rookie card?
I do have a Cal Ripken rookie card. It was in a 1982 set of Topps baseball cards.
Oh, you bought the whole set?
Well, I think my mom and dad bought us each a set from the year we were born.
Okay.
Which just so happened to be Cal Ripken's rookie.
Oh, Providence shining forth.
That's right.
How do you explain the Raiders?
Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl. Just to boil it down, Bo Jackson. I mean, all of them. Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen. But I was coming of age right at the time of Bo Knows and Bo Jackson Pro Stars was a crazy little cartoon that came on. It starred Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky, but Bo Jackson was by far the best. But then you could play with the Raiders on a Nintendo game called Tecmo Bowl, and Bo Jackson is by far the greatest, probably video game character of all time.
Yeah, any game.
Right.
Not just football, but any. Better than Mario, better than any of those guys.
Maybe that was part of my, if I get deeper into my psyche, like contrarian spirit.
So the Orioles, you were born in 82, and the Orioles won the World Series in 83.
83.
You don't remember that?
No, and the Raiders won the Super Bowl in 83.
And nothing since.
Don't remember it. And the Wolfpack won the North Carolina. I am just a terrible sports fan. I just picked the worst teams. They've just all been on downhill since. Maybe that's my fault.
That's awesome. Were you always a Wolfpack fan before you went to state?
I think in and out. I probably pulled for Carolina a little bit.
Yeah.
I won't admit that to anybody.
You just did.
But I didn't. Kind of did. But then I got saved. And saw the light.
All right, so you
I remember watching Rodney Monroe and Chris Cortiani. And
I was in college then.
I know. I would watch it at my grandparents' house. Fire and Ice.
That's right. They were awesome. So you and your brothers grew up together. Did y'all ever get into any good fights?
Probably.
If you
okay, so I was not. I mean, not probably like really knocked down, drag out. If we got into it, I can remember a couple times. My dad would just send us outside and be like, "Y'all just settle it outside," and be like, oh, "Okay." I, as a kid, and I still deal with this from time to time. I think because having kids will reveal some of your inadequacies. Sin.
Your fallen nature.
Your fallen nature. As a kid, I had such a bad temper, and my parents could tell you more, and my brothers probably too. And almost like rage, like I could just really short fuse. And there was a couple times I think I chased Parks around the yard with a baseball bat, and if I could have caught him, I'd have probably hit him.
If all of you three boys were all the same age, let's say 14 years old, who would win?
In a fight?
Yeah.
I don't.
Depends if it was rage mark or not.
Yeah, I think I just have to say. I mean, I gotta say me. I don't. I mean, is this all at the same, like fighting all at the same time, or like 1-on-1?
Nah, it'd be just a big scramble.
Oh, I think they might be afraid of me.
Did all of them wrestle? You wrestled in Andrew. Did Parks wrestle?
Parks wrestled a couple years.
So who would win in a wrestling match between the three of you?
I don't know. We have to settle that later. I'm looking at you.
I don't know. I got 50 pounds on you, and you did something to me one time. You put a knuckle in one of my ribs. I said, I'm not going to mess with that guy.
I think I've long since passed my prime.
Yeah, you've mellowed out quite a bit. So what school? Your dad was a principal. Was he ever yours?
Not ever a principal, but he was a teacher when I was at Statesville Middle. He taught at the old D. Matt Thompson Junior High, which is on Front Street. And then he moved over to Statesville Middle when they became Statesville Middle School. And one year when I was in 6th grade, he was kind of my teacher. It was kind of a health class, and so I had to figure out what to call him, Mr. Collins or Dad.
Yeah.
Probably Dad most of the time. But he didn't become a principal until after I was gone.
Yeah, my dad was my principal for most of the way through the 9th grade, and it was always Dad.
Right.
Deal.
It just...
My dad gave me some paddlings at school. Did you ever get one from your dad?
No.
So where'd you go
to school?
Where'd you go to elementary school?
I went to Northview Elementary School, which is now the IB school, which is weird to go back in there, and they have a middle school in there where my elementary school was. The home of the Mustangs.
Okay. At one time they were the Bunnies, I think.
They were after I left.
Okay.
We won't claim that.
So you were a Northview Mustang, then you went to Statesville Middle.
Statesville Middle Bulldogs.
And Statesville High Greyhounds.
Statesville High Greyhounds.
When did you graduate high school?
2000, so 20 years. It's been 20 years. It's May.
You wrestled. What did you do? Anything else in high school?
Played baseball because I like baseball, but I wasn't very good at it. I think I had.
Where's your other? You had a baseball in here.
I think it's up there with Cal Ripken. You gotta keep all the baseball stuff together. Is it not there?
I don't see him. But it's the baseball where you threw out a guy at home plate?
Yeah, that was my one shining moment in high school. We were playing at Newton Conover, and I think we were up. I was playing right field. That must have been my senior year. I think we were winning 11-10, and there was a guy on third caught a pop fly, and they threw him at home in the game.
You're back against the wall, probably.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think I jumped over the wall.
A rope like
That's right.
Clemente.
Way back. Reached back.
And then Clemente like a laser to home plate.
Oh, right on target. Right chest high, right for the catcher. Right, beat him by.
Don't you wish you had video?
3 feet. I can see it in my mind. It looks just like that.
So you graduated in 2000 and went to NC State. When did you know you wanted to go there?
It was down. So I applied to 3 schools: NC State, North Carolina, University of North Carolina, and Gardner-Webb. And University of North Carolina was out. I really kind of wanted to go for, I don't know, graphic design, engineer. That's what I thought. And Gardner-Webb. So kind of my senior year, I felt a really strong call to ministry at Crossroads Summer Camp. And Brian Burgess was the youth pastor then, so I talked to him, and it was during that summer. But I think before this, I'd already decided to go to NC State. You know, I've been thinking about Gardner-Webb. Parks, my older brother, was at Gardner-Webb. It was a Christian college. And I had all the stuff filled out for Garden Web and was gonna drop it in the mail like the next day, and then I just didn't. It wasn't like a premonition. I just didn't. I felt like, man, I can go to NC State and be a Christian and maybe be an engineer or a graphic designer, and so just changed my mind and sent it in, and was glad. We had a great experience at NC State with Campus Crusade and guys in the Bible study and guys that I lived with that I still keep up with and talk to pretty regularly.
So when did you become a Christian?
I became a Christian sometime in March 1993, and
so 11 years old almost.
I was in almost 11, and I was in 5th grade, and there was a guy that came to Statesville High School and did a crusade, and his name was Dave Reaver.
Yeah.
And he was a Vietnam vet that I think had gotten blown up, and
yeah.
I don't remember what he said or what. I just remember feeling like I needed the Lord. I was a sinner. I mean, I knew at that point I had sinned, and I mean, part of that was my temper and anger, and I needed someone to save me, and that was Jesus. And I can remember standing in the gymnasium at Statesville High School, which was kind of cool for me later, being able to wrestle in the same gym and being, connected to a place.
Yeah.
Kind of having that. I mean, not every time I walk in the gym I'm reminded of it, but there would be times that I remind of, oh, the Lord saved me. The Lord reached down, kind of.
You were baptized soon after that?
Yeah, on a Sunday night, and I guess it was Skip. Skip baptized me. Skip Carton, who was a pastor.
Yeah, he ended up marrying you too, didn't he?
Yeah.
How about that? When did you meet Melissa?
So Melissa grew up here too. Melissa grew up at the church, but I always just kind of knew them as there was the girls that sat on the other end. I mean, I can remember them as kids and knew Joey and Robin, and Joey was I think they were actually shepherds in Sunday school when I was in 9th grade. So I just have known them.
How close in age were y'all?
She's 3 years younger than I am.
So you were a senior and she was a sophomore?
Senior, she was a freshman.
Freshman. So when did you start dating?
She was a freshman in college.
Okay.
I was a senior in college. She was a freshman in college.
Who asked who?
Pretty sure I asked her out.
Remember your first date?
I don't. I mean, remember. I don't.
Maybe she'll fill in the blank.
I know. This is bad.
When did you know you wanted to marry her?
I think. I mean, I guess it was her senior year in college. This was 2007. We got engaged in January. So sometime before that.
Do you remember how you...
I just knew.
First time you saw her.
All right. Just
sitting on the other side of the youth room.
No, just like 4.
Did you remember how you asked her?
Yeah, we were at it was the house I was living in, my grandparents' house on West End, and we were watching a really bad movie, and I had gotten the ring that day, and I was like, oh, I gotta ask her. I'm not. This was before like Pinterest and making a big
all the pressure.
I think we had some Grow Green, and we're watching Superman Returns, which is terrible. I don't even think I couldn't even watch the movie. I couldn't even think about it. It's bad. I don't even think I finished it. But I was like, hey, let's just go to your mom's and play a game or something, board game. So we were getting ready to leave, and I was like, hold on, I gotta ask you something before we leave. And right by the fireplace.
With the big animal bull horns?
I don't think they were. Yeah, they might have been up there. I still got those two, but they're in an undisclosed location.
So when did you get married?
September 1st, 2007.
Wow, coming up on 13 years here shortly. And you have some children, right?
I think so. We do. We have 6. Knox, Piper, Ezra, Satchel, Oaks, and Alvy, who just turned 1.
So Knox is the oldest. How old is
Knox is 10. Piper is about to be 9 a week from what's today? The 8th. Her birthday is April 15th, so a week from today, she'll be 9. Ezra just turned 7. Oaks will be 4 in May. Satchel is 5, and Alvy just turned 1 in March.
So what's it like having all 6 children at home during the quarantine?
I'm trying to think about how to demonstrate it. So it goes a little bit like this. It's kind of what you feel like.
You or the kids?
It's kind of a little bit of both. I'm not sure if that's like an accurate depiction, but it's a ton of fun, a lot of laughter, and I've been really appreciative of so many times around the table.
Oh yeah,
so many inside jokes
that's
already.
Cool. When did you start coming to Western Avenue?
I'm pretty sure like 9 months before I was born.
You've been here 38 years plus.
That's right.
When did you start working at Western Avenue?
So the summer right before I graduated, I remember coming by church one time. And when Brian was youth pastor, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be a youth intern this summer?" And I thought, "Sure, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna, and I'm glad I did because I kept coming back." And I was an intern for 5 summers, and they let me stay around. And then
you interned for 5 summers?
So 2001, 2,
all the
3,
way through college.
4. Yeah, so right after I graduated high school, and then all the way through college.
Okay. So the first was summer of 01?
2000.
2000.
So I mean that summer, like
yeah. And I came in May of 01. So
right.
Your second summer was my first summer.
Right, we helped you move. I remember carrying in boxes.
Carried in boxes of books that day. I remember that. Then we'd go out to eat at the Sub Express.
Sub Express and Sagebrush.
And
Little China.
Little China. Oh yeah. Oh, I miss that place. And Lotus Pier.
Lotus Pier.
That was some good eating right there. When did you start working as a member of the pastoral staff?
So I graduated college in 2004. I was a summer intern till August. Then in August, I started working as a part-time maintenance man. So me and Billy Bass, I learned a lot about the church. And kind of would fix holes or change light bulbs or go up in the steeple. A lot of things. Kind of learned a lot of where things were in church, which was, I think a step forward. With the thought that hopefully the church would vote to split the youth group into middle school and high school. Well, actually, when I started, came in, it was basically like 4th grade through 8th grade. That was the kind of area that I was responsible. So that didn't start till January 2005.
You've done a lot here at Western Avenue. You've sang. You've done a lot on It's Christmas. You've preached on a number of occasions. But I think you're probably best known here for your Vacation Bible School skits.
We have lots of help.
Can you name the characters that you portrayed?
So let me see if we can. I'll have a cheat sheet right here. Brian and I started skits it was probably with the Truth Trackers. I don't know if his character had a name, but I always just...
I think he was Julia Childs.
we started... My character... We didn't have enough microphones in the fellowship hall. And so I just was basically... this was intentional, but like a silent character.
So you were the Stan Laurel to
just
Oliver
very,
Hardy.
very slapstick. But he was Scout. And we did that bit, I guess, for a couple... It was a bit. I don't know if you can use that word. We did that skit for 2 years, I think. And then... It was like Kingdom Caper. Those were kind of fuzzy. They weren't...
When was I a gorilla?
I'm going to say Amazon Outfitters.
Yeah,
and you body slammed me on the stage in the fellowship. Still got it.
And terrorized some children.
Yeah, I think so. And then, I don't know, Kingdom Caper, Rickshaw Rally, they get kind of fuzzy. That was... I don't
Let's
lose
be
track.
more recent then. 'Cause
So I can remember it started with like Mario and Luigi in New York, and then Goose and Maverick. I'm just great at ripping off already named characters. Maverick and Goose in Amazing Wonders Aviation. I don't even remember what was after that. I remember Red and Blue from Arctic Express. We did those a couple years. Journey Off the Map with Bamboo, which might be one of my favorite performances of all time.
It was classic. It'll go down in history.
Sometimes I still.
Then you were a malfunctioning robot.
Cosmo.
And a spy.
Zero. I'm seeing a trend here. And then last year was Dan Scartown and Rowdy. Yeah, Dan Scartown. And then there was the game. I can't remember. Game On. That was pretty funny too.
Oh yeah.
All of these can be accessed on the Western Avenue YouTube channel. If you're still watching this,
if you're still watching this at 26 minutes in on YouTube, all these VBS skits are below.
They're there for your quarantine viewing pleasure.
And maybe only above your roles that you played in VBS, the only one that maybe can match or even possibly exceed would probably be Rodney's run as Mr. Goodfeathers.
Mr. Goodfeathers. Yeah, you check out Mr. Goodfeathers. It's in the what was it? Oh, Big Apple Adventure. Probably around Monday or Tuesday.
Was that Mario?
That was Mario.
That was Mario.
2011.
That was me. I was Mr. Bowser that year, wasn't I?
Bowser and Greg was Luigi. And it was the Pizza Olympics.
Michaelan Reiser still calls me Mr. Bowser. What was that? 14 years ago? I don't know.
It's not.
It was a long time ago. Let's see here. Out of these personalities, let's just get some quick answers. What's one food you refuse to eat?
I don't know if there is any. I've eaten. You see me eat a fish eyeball.
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, I might try it once.
If there was only one soda in the world, which one would you want it to be?
Cheerwine.
Cheerwine. Very good.
I haven't drunk a soda since 2017.
If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
I cover myself with mustard and no, I would. I'll be so delicious. There's a Will Ferrell skit.
What was your favorite pet as a child?
We had a dog named Bear.
Of course.
So, tragic story. When I was in 5th grade, it might have been around the same time I got saved. I'm not sure. But my mom, she didn't do this intentionally. We had a dog named Cricket. So we backed over the dog on the way to school, which, it was traumatic. But then, not too long after that, maybe a week, we found an ad in the paper, free puppies, and so we went, picked up a puppy. He looked like a little bear cub. We named him Bear, and this was like maybe the most personality I've ever seen in a dog. I mean, he would follow me around on my bike, and I think one time I saw him stare down a transfer truck in front of my house. Just stood in the middle of the road and looked at it. And so, Bear.
All right. I want you to answer this next question in character
These were
as
supposed to be
Mario.
quick answers.
Answering as Mario.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I can do it.
If you could be great in any sport, which sport would you want to be great in?
But I said, Luigi, I want to be good at the making the pizzas, but I just want to dance.
Very good, very good. Can you name 3 songs by Taylor Swift?
22.
Time's up. Never
Blank
mind.
Space. Tim McGraw. Romeo. Me and I don't remember. I don't know.
I know one. I know Shake It Off. That's
Shake It Off.
Yeah. What was the first concert you ever went to?
Probably Newsboys, Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Nice.
The Shine Tour. And I think King of the Jungle.
Wow. So you are a huge fan of the music. What's your favorite?
A big fan of the music.
What's your favorite genre?
Don't know.
You like 80s music, 90s music?
I like it all. I like rock and country and folk and
You've been writing a
hip-hop
few
and-
sonnets lately.
This is my challenge for my quarantine. It gives me some structure.
Are these supposed to be set to music or
No, I don't think
Or
so.
spoken
Maybe
word.
one time.
spoken word Shakespearean type stuff?
I just wanted to challenge myself.
You mentioned Tecmo Bowl. Were there any video games you were really good at? Arcade games?
No, we had a Nintendo, a regular Nintendo. I love Super Mario Bros. 3. And then sometime around there we got a Sega Genesis, so Sonic the Hedgehog. Those were my. I could do the 2D scrolling, but when they went into like 3D first person shooter,
You were out. Can you solve a Rubik's Cube?
I probably could, but I've never have. I don't know.
That's either very
I'm just a little optimistic.
Either optimistic or arrogant, I'm not sure.
I mean, I feel like I could do it, but it might take a long time.
What's the best Christmas gift you remember getting on Christmas morning?
Man, I have several. I remember there's a Lego right there. You can show them later. That was the space shuttle.
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool.
We'll show it now while they're looking and thinking about it.
That was when I might have been 4th grade. That's probably it. I would say that.
What scared you the most as a child?
You
You have a moment where you remember, oh, I'm so scared.
I still hate like haunted houses. I remember one time I got lost in Signal Hill Mall. That was scary. I don't remember what happened, but I remember being lost there and finding the security guard. And then I would always be scared of witches under my bed.
Oh, yeah.
Kinda
Oh, yeah.
weird. Just like look over and they kind of mirror.
You gotta keep your feet covered, don't you?
Weird.
You like
Strange.
Does it scare you to look out a window at night?
Sometimes.
That gets me from my childhood. I thought I saw something one
It
night.
would be scary. I can remember walking through the neighbor's yard, going to my house, and then like step on a stick. It's like taking off, running as fast.
Or climbing stairs.
I've
real
been in
quick.
this building is scary.
Oh, goodness,
By
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, Rodney's talked about that in Philip. This is a terrifying place at dark at night. All right, a typical day in senior year. Are you wearing cologne?
No, I don't think I've ever wear cologne in my life.
What?
I have a strong affinity for strong smells. I don't know.
What would you wear to school your senior year? What was a typical?
Like clothes?
Are you wearing what you're wearing now?
Bro, this might have been a disaster. I do have some Chuck Taylors from 10th grade I still wear occasionally.
Have you ever been fired?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
If you could live in a sitcom family, which family would you want to live with?
So, first thought just came to was the Sinclair family from Family Ties. Weren't they Sinclairs? No, that's the dinosaurs.
That's the dinosaurs.
That too. that too.
Keaton.
No. Carl.
From Family Ties?
No, not Family Ties. Family Matters.
Oh, yeah, Winslow.
The Winslows.
Yeah.
The Sinclairs. Maybe it's dinosaurs then. I guess.
That was a short.
Or the Tanners from Alf.
I was getting ready to say, I thought Alf would be your answer.
Alf.
You're a big fan of Alf.
Yes, Gordon Shumway.
Who was a space alien who liked to eat cats.
Yes. And had a very snarky personality.
What's a show that your children watch now that you secretly hate? Hate might be too strong.
I
Just
don't know.
Annoyed by.
I don't know.
Or do you watch them yourself?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
What's your favorite book as a kid? One you'd read over and over again?
I used to read Matt Christopher books. They were like little sports books about baseball. But probably Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I would say I read the most. Also Ender's Game. I know that's a hard too. I also like the books.
You like the music and you like the books.
Yeah, I like the books.
Right, and the sports.
And the sport.
Well, show us around before we turn off. This is 34 minutes in.
Oh yeah,
We're almost
long.
over.
Nobody's staying this long.
What do you got to show us here?
Books.
There are a lot of books.
Here's
There's a Raider helmet.
Raiders. That's probably a helmet I had the whole uniform. See, and me and my brother Andrew used to play backyard football 1-on-1.
Is that why the chips
I
on the
think
thing?
probably so.
All right.
Books and guitars. This is a hammered dulcimer that Harry Beard mostly built. Harry's my neighbor now and was my neighbor as a kid. You gotta watch your step. You gotta step very carefully.
Can you explain these?
Not really. Rodney brings them back from Mexico. No, it's just a crazy thing. I'm a fan of Nacho Libre. And I don't know if I can. I'm tied up.
So we have more stuff, more books. I guess you made this Superman
I made that
container.
Ceramics class in high school.
This is a classic Ninja Turtles van. This is your first car, wasn't it?
Yeah, first car I drove, 1975 Super Beetle.
That recently caught on fire.
It recently caught on fire, but my dad is restoring it.
There's the family that looks like they're doing exactly what you said they were doing.
That's right.
What are these right here?
I beat somebody in the fantasy football championship 2 years in a row. I think it was the same person I played both years.
You beat somebody in 13 and 14. You remember who it was?
I can't quite remember. Do you remember?
I think it was me. Yes, you beat me. Quentin Ganther.
Quentin Ganther.
I still remember that joker.
Look it up.
All right, who are these guys?
Can't see.
That's Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, Howie Long, Tim Brown, Lou Gehrig.
And over here we got Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken and Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig there. And here's some more modern day. There's an Oriole Bird, Karate Kid, Nacho.
And then the next shelf, that's my shelf of misters.
Mr. Rogers, Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. T.
I mean, you gotta get them all. It's just great.
What a great blessing for those who are still with us at the 37-minute mark.
If you made it this far, you win.
Up here we have, what is that thing right there?
I'm not sure.
Is that a
Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, you gotta have those.
Here are the Orioles hats with the
Orioles.
cartoon bird. Then we have a Transformer?
Voltron.
Voltron.
And Baymax.
And a yellow submarine.
And a yellow submarine.
And a yellow bunny.
And a Peep.
Another Cal Ripken with Brooks Robs behind his books. And here's his collection from his childhood, all of his Lego characters.
Most of those are probably not from childhood, but
Oh.
Don't put that in the video.
Okay, I'll
just edit it and post.
I'll get rid of it. All right, Mark. Really appreciate you letting us in to who you are.
That's true. We gotta peel back the layers.
That's right. Multifaceted. An onion. You're an onion.
Oh yeah, I cry a lot.
All right, buddy.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.